Modern Dude Chat is presented by the guys at Beard Supply. Go check out beardsupply.com. They got all the good stuff to make your skin feel good and your beard look fresh. It's summer, it's heating up, you're going to be out in public. Be sure to go check out beardsupply.com. Beard care for a wild life.
Hey guys, welcome to the Modern Dude Chat podcast. We're your hosts, Cody and Chuck. We've got another amazing episode for you guys this week. Listen up, it's going to be good.
Back in the saddle again.
Here we are.
Took our little Easter break, and we are back at it. And I think I speak for both of us when I say we couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, we're never missing an episode again.
No, man, that was torturous. Like last week, I was just like, what do I do with my time?
Not doing it.
So
never missing again. I'm just kidding. We might miss.
No, we do have to take breaks from time to time, but we're gonna do. I don't know. We're gonna do it different. That was too long.
There's a huge hole in our hearts.
And there was,
this week.
From what I understand, there was hole in other people's hearts because I got people I've got people telling me, "Hey,
Same
yo,
here.
what the deal? Wednesday, I'm looking for a new episode.
Yeah.
Nothing happening."
Hey, I like that kind of feedback.
No, yeah, I was like, "Well, that's awesome. At least someone's listening." So,
You're right.
and looking forward
Dude,
to the next one.
Everybody's listening. We're the number one podcast in the world.
Oh my God, you're gonna roll with that, okay? All right, Cody said that, not me. That's at Cody Murph.
Yeah.
Said
Number one
that.
podcast. Nobody can tell me different.
So we took a break. We we're gearing up. We've been teasing. Let's go ahead and do it. We've been talking about it.
Yeah.
Let's dive into it. We are ready for our giveaway. So we're doing
huge giveaway.
So we're doing two different
Packages.
Yep, two different packages,
Kits,
two separate
whatever
giveaways.
you want to call it.
Do you want to give us the items? Or
Yeah, I got you.
Okay,
I got you. All right.
So oh well. Look, we're not coordinated. There's going to be an Instagram package and an iTunes review package.
Yep.
And so, two different things, pretty much the same items, a slight difference between the two.
Yeah.
But so break it down as in iTunes package and Instagram package.
Yeah, we're giving away two separate kits. So the giveaway, we're going to do one on iTunes. You leave a review, and you're automatically entered in the contest, the giveaway contest. And then also Instagram, Facebook, there's another package that you can win from there. Or you can go both ways and enter in the iTunes review and then also the Instagram, Facebook campaign. And that just you kind of double down, triple down.
We're getting wild.
You know
we're getting wild. We're going to let them enter both contests?
Yes.
So there you go. You can enter both contests.
Yes.
So we're not. So if
I'm
you're
down with that.
If you're on Instagram, you're not excluded from iTunes, and if you win one or the other, you're not necessarily excluded from either one. So, iTunes for the iTunes contest. Which are we teasing items? Are we going to tell them what's in it or what?
Yeah. Let's do this.
Okay. iTunes.
So iTunes includes when you say detail, you mean like details, or do you want me to do a little teaser, a few teasers?
No, I said let's go ahead and tell them what they're going to win.
This is what you're going to win.
Tell them what they're going to win, Cody.
You're going to win. Come on down. You're going to win a Howler Bros for the iTunes review entry. Howler Bros mug. You get an Open L. What's the number?
Number 8, I believe.
Number 8 knife. We've got a Stanley whiskey flask. And then, of course, beard supply goods. You get beard soap, beard balm, mustache wax, beard oil, 1975 beard oil, or the Deep Woods beard oil, which is one of my favorites. Both of those are my favorites. So I'm providing my favorite beard oil blends. So anyways, Howler Bros coffee mug. It's an enamel mug. It says Dawn Patrol. I love it. It's got like a rooster on it. We're going to post all this stuff on our social media. We've got the knife and the whiskey flask, the beard kit, stickers,
Yeah,
magnets.
we'll throw in a
you
little
freaking name it.
extras.
We're gonna throw it in there.
So that's for the iTunes. And again, go to iTunes, leave us a rating. But to enter the contest, you do have to submit a review as well. So that's how we're going to pick up names is
and
off
it
the
better
review.
be freaking 5-star.
Hey, we'll
man.
take 5 stars, but we also want honest
We
feedback,
only take
man.
5 stars.
Yeah, so that's iTunes.
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook giveaway. So we're gonna give away an iron and resin hat. It's a mesh trucker hat. Also the beard kit, Beard Supply beard kit, comes with a soap, beard balm, mustache wax, beard oil. Nice little kit. Whiskey flask from Stanley, and then also another open L knife. We're gonna load you down with all kinds of good stuff.
Yep, and again, that's the Instagram package. For Instagram, we want you to follow us. Instagram and Facebook.
Yep.
Follow us on Instagram and or Facebook, and leave a comment on our giveaway post. We'll designate particular giveaway post. On the comments, tag 2 of your friends. Let them know about Modern Dude Chat, and that'll get you entered in for the Instagram package.
Make sure you follow us.
So again, iTunes, leave a review, leave a rating. Instagram, follow us on Instagram or Facebook. Leave a comment, tag 2 friends. Again, and the slight difference between the package is iTunes, you get the mug. Instagram, you get the hat. Everything else is the same. You get the beard kit, knife, flask, and we'll throw in stickers and magnets and whatnot. So
Can't beat that. Nice
that's
little
it.
giveaway.
We're here. So we got the giveaway. That's going to run. So we're going to start. This episode is going to drop on May 1st.
Yep.
So it's going to run for the month of May. On our June 5th episode, that's when we'll announce the winners. And so you'll have until June 2nd.
Yeah.
Sunday, June 2nd will be the final day.
Unlimited entries, by the way.
Unlimited entries.
You tag your friends like crazy. You leave reviews. You encourage your friends to leave reviews. All that.
And we're going to use the hashtag MDC giveaway.
MDC
So
giveaway.
look for the post, look for the hashtag, and follow the rules and get entered.
And I would like to note, this is like a collaboration of like mine and Chuck's favorite brands. Howler Bros, Iron and Resin, Stanley, Flask, Open L Knives, all kinds of good stuff. Of course, Beard Supply products. It'll keep your beard nice and soft.
Yeah, so this is stuff that we use, we like, we've bought ourselves, and we just want to share it with people that listen to our podcast.
Yeah, we love these brands.
So and then we're also going to give a little tease for next week is our next special guest. And we have a musician on our hands.
We're having another guest, man.
Yeah, another guest, a musician this time. And it's going to be our good friend Cole Reisner.
Cole Reisner.
So between now and then, give Cole Reisner a look up. Go check out his music. Yeah. He's going to be on. We're going to talk about his journey, his music, kind of whatever Cole wants to do. And we understand he's a huge Game of Thrones fan. So there will be Game of Thrones talk with him, which I think he's excited about.
And that couldn't happen any more perfectly because tonight, we're recording on Sunday night.
Yep.
Tonight is the... What are they calling it?
I think the Battle of Winterfell.
Battle of Winterfell?
Yeah. So now...
next weekend, we're going to be talking Game of Thrones, the Battle of Winterfell, with Cole Reisner. He's a musician. He's going to talk about his music, and then we're also going to dive in to the battle at Winterfell collectively.
Cole is cool as shit.
Funny guy.
And it's going to be a good one, and there's a good chance we're going to be off the rails, and... who knows what tunnels we're going to go down with Cole.
And what I heard is he's bringing the whiskey to us.
We're
Cole
not providing. Coming in hot. So Cole's going to bring the feature next week. So
we're hyping Cole up real big right now. Y'all better show up.
No pressure, Cole. So episode 17 is going to have Cole Reisner. He's going to bring the feature. But for this week, Cody's got the feature.
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. It's a beer feature.
It is a beer feature.
And kind of a whiskey feature.
Okay.
Hey, you know what I mean?
Oh, twisting it up.
Okay.
I see limited edition.
Yeah. Okay, so this week we are having a Texas Bourbon Barrel Series limited edition Imperial Red from Ranger Creek.
It looks like they're out of San Antonio.
They are out of San Antonio. It's a Ranger Creek Brewery. This is a Texas Bourbon Barrel Series Imperial Red. 10%, actually, I'm sorry, 10.96% alcohol by volume.
Okay.
We're going big for Game of Thrones Battle at Winterfell
Yeah, we're
tonight.
getting ready.
So we ain't messing around.
Because we're drinking beer now. We might be drinking our own tears later, depending on who all gets killed off. So.
Yeah, man. San Antonio, Texas. The branding I love on the can. It's simple,
The can pops.
Yeah.
It's a white can with black and red.
Immediately you can
imaging.
tell it's limited edition and it has bourbon barrel written across a bourbon whiskey barrel. So one of the things that I always enjoy, Chuck, it says enjoy with first line item is baby back pork ribs. So
Done.
can't go wrong with
Yep.
that. Tasting notes, well-rounded, resinous, toasty, cherry, vanilla, marshmallow.
Cherry vanilla marshmallow. Shut it down. Let's go home.
bro.
All right, let's crack into
All right,
this. I'm
let's do it.
intrigued.
Ranger Creek Texas Bourbon Barrel
Oh,
Series
smells-
limited edition
smells fantastic.
Imperial Red. This is our first Imperial Red, so cheers, buddy.
This might be my first Imperial Red ever, and it does not disappoint.
What do you think?
Oh, man. That's tasty.
That's good stuff. That
Oh,
is
that-
really
yeah.
good stuff.
Mm.
Anything bourbon barrel
And
aged.
this
I'm a fan
taste
of.
with 10%, I'm going to be full of
It's
emotions
dangerous.
later tonight.
Hey, you know what? I did only bring 2 in here, so you can't get out of hand.
That's probably a good idea.
You have the only can that you're allowed to have, and I have one over
It's
here.
probably the
so
only
that's
can
it.
I need, to be honest. But, man, okay. Yeah, Texas Bourbon Barrel Series. From
So what do you
Ranger
think
Creek.
about the taste? Real quick.
It's good.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, I'm terrible at describing
No.
taste.
Well, just based on the tasting notes that they described, well-rounded, resinous, toasty, cherry, vanilla, marshmallow.
Yeah.
Picking any of that up? The cherry
Yeah,
for sure,
It's so at 10%,
and vanilla.
you're kind of thinking stouts, maybe some IPAs. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So usually it's really strong,
Yeah.
and you either like it or you don't. And
This
this
is a
one's
red.
kind of a good balance. Like it doesn't hit me as strong as some of those other high percentage beers do, and which I appreciate. And yeah, the taste comes through good. I'm digging this.
Isn't that
man.
some good stuff?
Yeah, it is good.
Shout out to Ranger Creek. Good job, guys.
Yes, we love it.
Limited edition.
Okay.
You ready?
Limited. Yeah, I'm ready. So, if you follow us on social media, you know, and if you listen to past episodes, me and Cody did score tickets to premiere night of Avengers Endgame. And now, just so everyone knows, heads up, we will not spoil
No spoilers.
the movie in this episode. I think we're giving them 2 weeks, so I don't think we're gonna get into Cole's episode, but maybe the week after we're gonna break down Endgame.
We're not the spoiler type of guys. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm super into this type of stuff, and if someone spoiled something this big to me, I would want to murder them.
Punch
like
him
I
in
would
the
have,
face.
I would have
Maybe not murder, but punch him in the face.
no,
Murder? Okay.
Murder's appropriate.
All right.
No, that or
Like
at least
Avengers style?
at least karate chop in the neck or roundhouse kick to the dome.
You mean like Thanos?
Whoa,
not-
easy.
I'm not spoiling it.
No, he's kidding. But no, we did score tickets, and it's a 3-hour movie, and our tickets were at $10.50 on a Thursday night.
Unbelievable.
I broke down and I took the day off on Friday, so I wasn't risking it.
Hey, I went into the office, so
Man, what a beast!
Trooping it
what
up.
a beast!
like I always
but,
do.
But yeah, so we met up. We had a couple beers before the movie.
Yeah,
and
man.
checked it out, and so the theater we went to, it was a Cinemark theater. And when we ordered tickets, there's one of the few websites that was working at the time, so
Yeah.
we were able, and it's one of those reserved seating, so we got to pick our seat, so we didn't have to get there early and fight people.
Yeah.
we had our seat
Just
picked
show
out.
up and
Yeah, we showed up. The snack line went quick, so we got our popcorn. What's your
Okay.
movie snack?
Okay.
What's your
Let's
movie
do that.
snack? Yeah, let's do it.
So I hadn't had dinner that night. So
Okay.
I immediately got a hot dog. And then
you
the
know
popcorn.
what?
Tell me.
I don't. This is just an observation.
Movie theater.
This is
I don't typically enjoy movie theater hot dogs.
No,
but
time out. I don't believe that. Just knowing you are definitely a hot dog at the movies guy.
I
Like-
scarf. I'm not gonna lie. I scarf that shit down real
Oh
quick.
man, okay. So you got and you're man. I can pick. Yeah, you're definitely hot dog
Yeah,
movie
I got
guy.
the ketchup and the mustard combo
Oh, got
with, the,
to.
with the sweet
Okay.
relish.
Okay, load it up.
Hey, and a beer tip here. This is a life hack. Life hack. Whenever you eat a hot dog, if you put the ingredients on top, like the mustard, the ketchup, the sweet relish, it's all on top, right?
You're living in the olden days.
Listen up. This is a hack. So when you bite into that hot dog, all that shit's gonna get in your mustache, especially if you have a full mustache, right?
Okay.
Okay. Here's what I've done. Here's what I've learned. Take the hot dog wiener out, right?
Take the wiener
You
out.
put all the ketchup and the mustard and the relish in the bun, and then you put the hot dog wiener on top. And there you go. No mess.
So I like
It's all sandwiched in there.
I like how you're concerned about your beard and mustache.
Yeah.
My fat ass just doesn't want any of my condiments falling out my hot dog, so that's why I stuff it in the bottom. My cheese and everything.
Oh, so you still do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Especially when I'm at home, I don't want nothing falling out of that sucker, so I save the wiener for last. But
funny.
so you got hot dog at the movie.
Yeah, I got a hot dog in the movie, and I also got popcorn.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that usually you just popcorn drink? guy?
Always popcorn. Yeah.
Okay.
Always popcorn.
Sometimes
Sometimes I get a candy or two, and I'm about to tell everybody. I'm kind of sick with all these crazy allergies here in Texas going on.
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
bad.
There's a lot of shit
If
blowing around.
we recorded yesterday, I'd feel
So-
it would be awful.
We're gonna try to edit out all my coughs and sniffles and all that
So
crap, but
if you hear
we
Cody,
may not be able to, and I kind of sound raspy.
if you hear Cody coughing and
FYI.
scratching and hacking over there,
That's why.
But anyway, so yeah, so you're
put that in
definitely
there.
popcorn drink guy.
Yeah, always popcorn.
I'll maybe throw in a hot dog.
Yes, cherry Coke.
Dude,
I'm that
okay,
kind
I was
of
about to say my snacks are very specific. And let's go ahead and dive into this topic we mentioned too when I get there.
Okay.
I get a cherry Coke.
Yeah.
And it has to be cherry Coke. I don't know why,
I knew you were my guy for a
but
reason. Chuck.
movie cherry Coke.
You're a cherry Coke guy.
Yes, and
Love it.
popcorn. I get my popcorn, and I have to have candy, but not any candy.
Okay.
My go-to. So this is my lineup at the movies:
And I'm not gonna lie, I did notice this. when you
Yes.
picked it up.
cherry Coke, popcorn, and Raisinets. That's the combo
Raisinets.
all day, every day. Especially for a 3-hour movie. That's the world I live in.
So Chuck, I have no idea what Raisinets are, but I noticed that you picked them up, and I'm not gonna lie. When I was sitting
you've
next
nev-
to you, I never had Raisinets.
Oh my god.
I noticed when I was sitting next to you, I was like, man. After I had downed my hot dog and ate like half a bag of popcorn, I was like, man,
You wanted a nice little
I
dessert.
wanted something sweet, right? That's what everybody
Should have
craves.
asked.
And I wanted to be like, hey man, toss me whatever the heck you got over there,
Should have done it.
in the yellow box. And but I wasn't sure what it was, and so I was like, no, I'm just gonna drink my cherry Coke and I'll be good. I don't need it anyways, right? What the heck are Raisinets?
Raisinets.
Please explain.
Raisinets are chocolate covered raisins.
Okay,
That's what they
that
are.
makes sense.
And they're fantastic. They're delicious, and I love them.
So my
But, like, I want-
kids eat yogurt covered.
Yeah, those are gross.
Raisins.
No, they ain't in the same
they're
round.
pretty
No,
good.
not in the same round.
Okay,
as-
these are chocolate covered.
But,
Milk chocolate,
like, yeah,
or dark
milk,
chocolate.
milk chocolate.
Okay.
And this is like how specific it is. I won't buy them like for a road trip. I won't buy them for the house. That's like my movie exclusive.
Movie theater.
Yes,
Yeah.
I get them with
Only.
I don't know. It may be that they go good with popcorn. I don't know.
Yeah.
but that's it.
Man.
And speaking of popcorn, I mentioned this to you.
Okay.
You're a butter on a popcorn guy,
yeah.
and
Oh,
I
yeah.
have issues
I experimented
with
actually
movie
when we
butter popcorn. And you asked me. You asked me about. We talked about butter briefly. And I said I have issues, major issues.
That's
and we didn't get into it.
We didn't get into it.
So,
but you did.
Let's take a second.
Okay. So I mentioned to Chuck, I was like, dude, have you heard about the straw in the middle of the popcorn bag? And then you pour the liquid butter down the straw so that you get the butter like down at the bottom of the bag, right? As soon as I mentioned that, Chuck is like, I have issues with popcorn butter. And I was like, what the heck are you talking about? You have issues with popcorn butter. There's no issues with popcorn butter. But please expand or explain, Chuck, on that.
Okay, I'm gonna hit you with a question first.
But I will just say real quick, I did try that. Put the straw for the very first time ever. Put the straw down the middle of the bag. Pour the butter in the
just
middle
like
of the straw.
layering your popcorn.
Yeah, but
you get to control it.
what I was confused about, because I didn't notice a difference immediately when I got to like middle of the bag. I think the butter gets trapped in the straw. You know, like if the straw's hitting the bottom of the bag, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of suctions in there and it closes up. So the butter's trapped in the straw, right?
I have a theory on that.
Okay, listen. When I pulled the straw out, then all the butter came out, right?
Okay.
Obviously. So it coated, like as soon as I slowly poured it out, it slowly coated.
Maybe that's the hack.
You know what I'm saying?
It may have been butted up a piece of popcorn, so it wasn't flowing. And then when you pull it out, okay.
When I slowly pulled it out, it slowly coated all the popcorn
I
on the
didn't.
bottom.
I didn't even.
Just saying, it was good.
I have such issues with the butter popcorn that when you said straw in the bag hack, I turned it off. Like I didn't know. I didn't even ask because I thought it was the other way around. I thought you were pouring butter in the bag and you were sticking your straw in there to get some butter on some
No.
piece. Like I thought it was real
That's
gross.
disgusting.
So here's my issue. Did you know that That is not butter.
Okay. Okay, wait, time out. Before you go on, I will say, anytime I leave the movie theater, I feel terrible. Like, like I honestly feel disgusting because I just ate popcorn, really buttery popcorn. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they also funnel popcorn air through the vents.
Okay.
So you're sitting in popcorn
That's
air,
why
which
I
I'm
feel
not
disgusting.
opposed to, but I mean there you smell and feel like you in popcorn.
Yeah, of course.
But anyway,
go
back-
ahead. Go
back to
ahead
the-
with your
back to
butter
the-
theory.
And I'm holding up air quotes butter. Did you know it's not butter?
I did not know that.
Okay, next time you
I
go
didn't
to,
do my research.
Next time you go to the theater, most people don't know
liquid
this.
butter.
Nope, it's not even that. Look at
I mean, it's a
no
liquid.
No, it is a liquid.
Okay.
Look at the box.
Okay.
And I don't know about Cinemark if you can see it, but like at our crappy theater in Greenville,
Yeah.
the case even says butter flavor topping.
Okay.
It's like corn syrup with butter on it, like butter flavoring, like you flavor like a Coke or something. It's that with butter. So it's not even butter. It's oil.
syrup.
It's oil. It's syrup or oil with butter flavor.
That's why I feel so disgusting.
And that's
every
why I
time.
don't get it, because that's not butter. Listen, my fat ass does not want fake butter. I want real butter. If you're gonna do it, do it.
That's a good. Hey,
But anyway,
that's a good.
well,
no,
as soon as
no,
I-
honestly, it makes sense now because it's like a guilty pleasure, right?
Yeah.
You go in there and you get popcorn. You got to have some. I always have to have like some kind of topping on my popcorn. That's just how I am, right? Salt, whatever. I always get the butter, the crappy butter, obviously, apparently. And it makes me feel like crap. As soon as I walk out there, I'm like, I have no appetite. I don't want to eat. I'm like, I feel disgusting.
You just drink motor oil that tastes like
You're
butter.
right.
And-
Unbelievable.
and that's
Chuck,
why I was going-
Chuck, you just literally probably changed my entire perspective on buttered
See,
popcorn.
and my
going to
wife
movies.
loves it. And
Does she really?
every time we go to the movies, and she's not a big movie goer, so it's like an event when we go to the movies together.
Yeah.
And she wants her snack. She likes
Yeah.
butter all over it, and I always say, that's not butter. She's like, shut up, don't ruin this for me. So once I found that out, like I felt like I was lied to half my life, and so I hold a grudge against the butter flavored topping at movie theaters.
I feel like I'm going to have a grudge now, for sure. I do
So-
like my white cheddar topping powder.
I
You know what
like
I'm
the
saying?
salt, the popcorn
Okay,
flavored
yeah.
salt stuff. Yeah, that's good.
Same
to go.
page, same
Yeah,
page.
we're
Okay,
good there.
okay.
Just not the air quotes butter.
Butter. Okay.
So anyway, give me what you thought of the movie in general, and then as a whole, as far as the whole Avengers saga, like
Okay.
without spoiling. No
yeah.
spoilers.
Oh, gosh. Wait.
So
That's
what did you
hard.
think of the movie? Was it a good movie? Was
No,
it
yeah.
awesome? Was
Okay,
it terrible?
surface
Were you
level,
disappointed?
no, it's a great movie. I'm glad we went. I went with Chuck only, and we went to the 1050 movie premiere. Overall, surface level, no spoilers. I thought it was great. So I will say, it takes some time to really get into it.
Yeah.
like some other movies. A good, would you say like an hour and a half into it?
Yeah,
Before it really starts to pick up.
Yeah,
You know,
at
there's a lot of
least.
build up. Mm-hmm. So there's that. But, I mean, for the most part, once you hit that hour and a half mark, from there, I was extremely pleased.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Especially for that to be like the end game.
So as far as like the whole first 21 movies, how do you, ending wise, you think it was a good like ending movie? Like if they're gonna start a new chapter and move on to different things.
Okay, so
Did it close it up for you? How you thought? Or...
no. I'll be
Okay.
honest. I'll
Okay.
be honest. And I think you feel the same way.
Okay.
I don't know. No, I wasn't entirely pleased.
Okay.
100%. I was maybe 80% pleased with like how it ended.
Okay.
To be honest with you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
Okay.
So
Because without spoiling it,
yeah.
I expected a little bit more.
Okay.
To be honest, right?
Yeah, and I think so.
But it might be the way that the story was told and like,
Yeah.
you know.
So top level, after watching the movie in whole, I thought it was awesome, amazing, and as far as ending it, yeah, I think it ended
Yeah.
on a good note. If we're
I don't
gonna-
want to take away from it because it was awesome.
no. If we're gonna move into a new era
Yeah.
of Marvel movies, I think, and to be a continuation of the Infinity War
Right.
into Endgame. I think when I go back and watch it as a whole, like I'll watch Infinity War and Endgame as a whole.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
So I'll take 6 hours out of my day when it's all available, and do it that way. I think it'll play a lot better. And
That's a good point, because when that is available all at once to watch Infinity War and Endgame like back to back,
yeah.
I'll feel better about it, I'm sure.
And I will, before we fully review this movie, I will probably see it again. And I've read, and I think that you get even more out of it the second watching, because the first one you're anticipating, you want to know what happens, but when you watch it the second time and you already know how, you can start
more.
paying attention and actually enjoy the story. So it may be better on a second viewing, but
I'm with you. I'll probably go see it the second time.
We talked about it, the movie. You said it's slow, and I think we talked about this after it was over. At one point, probably about midway, we both felt like, is this it?
I know, yeah, for sure.
I mean, it is slow.
Yeah.
Like, of course, you like the characters and da-da-da. It's slow because you're ready for this to just pop off and go.
Yeah.
And it takes a while to get there. But as soon as it hits that level, it's on. And the ending, like just the last third of the movie, is so epic.
It is.
And so badass. It is... Like, it makes up for the whole movie. That's what I'm saying. As a whole,
it does. Yeah,
it's like, but if you break it in pieces, it's slow. You may not like this, may not like that. But as a whole, once you get that ending to go with everything,
they make up for it.
They make up for it big time.
For sure.
And again, without spoiling it,
I didn't want to take away from it, but like I said, they make up for it in the end.
And so, besides the slowness, I had one major issue, and I won't break it down. You will probably
be careful. Don't spoil it.
I know. There is one character that they tell the story in a certain way, and that character is portrayed in a way I wasn't expecting, and I did not appreciate it.
Kind of funny.
It is funny, and if it wasn't,
I didn't appreciate it either.
So I'll say this: it has to do with one of the heroes, one of the Avengers, and it just so happens it's
Be careful.
I know it's my favorite Avenger.
Okay.
And if it would have been anybody else, I probably could have rolled with it, but it was because it was my Avenger.
Yeah.
And after what happened in all the previous movies, that left me disappointed.
Yeah, it was. I'm with you.
And again,
100%.
They do kind of make up for it later in the movie, but for the most part,
damage was done.
Yeah, the damage was done,
right?
And it was funny, but it's my person.
Yeah.
And
I'm with you.
I was upset because I was expecting a whole different level.
I feel like too much damage was done beforehand, the first hour and a half, right?
Yeah.
Up until
So outside of that one character's depiction in the movie, I thought overall it was amazing.
Yeah.
And if anything left me disappointed, it was that one piece.
Yeah.
So maybe on second watch, I'll understand it better, but and we'll break that all down when we do our formal
review. To be honest,
review.
like on the drive back, we rode together to the movie, and we talked about that a little bit. Like, why did that happen, or why did they portray that character that way? And there were some theories behind it, right? Do you remember that our conversation? Like because what happened.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's funny because you're motioning, and I'm just like, but don't say
motioning,
it.
But that was
this character was dealing with some stuff.
That was a really big deal. So. And what's funny is my son went to school on Friday. We went and saw the movie Thursday night, and when I saw him Friday after school, he was like, "Yeah, everybody spoiled Avengers for me. Like, I already know what happens." I was like, "Well, that sucks."
Teenagers are assholes.
Yeah, they're freaking assholes, dude. And I was like, "Well, that sucks, man." Like he heard everything that happened. I was like, "Wait, so time out. Like some of your friends went to the movie last night and didn't get home till 3 a.m. What time did the movie start? Let me ask that. What was the first premiere like? Was it 7 o'clock ish?
I think there were.
Or was it 10:50?
No, it was. So we went to the super deluxe best of the best theater around here, and they had one showing at 10:50.
Okay.
The other shows
Probably
started at different
earlier.
times. Yeah,
okay.
They did start earlier.
Okay.
It was just hard to snag tickets.
That makes sense. Okay. So, anyways, they spoiled it for my son. He hasn't seen it yet. But when we were talking,
well, you know what?
Side
note, if he would have followed the rules, he could have went with us.
Hey, yeah, straight up.
He's grounded.
Listen, yeah, I won't go into that.
I'll say it. I won't go details, but he got himself grounded and could not go.
Don't get me started.
Anyways.
Yeah, he was supposed to be sitting next to us. But we were talking about it, and I was like, we got on that topic. We got on that
Yeah.
subject of like what happened. I'm trying not to spoil it.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
really
You're
hard.
very, very close.
I know I'm
'Cause
close.
you
I'm not
keep-
going to. I'm
you
not.
keep-
I'm motioning.
You keep
over here.
acting it all out.
I have all these hand motions. If we had like, if
And
we had
I'm
like
laughing.
live feed video going on right now, I would ruin it. But we don't. Anyways, so I was explaining it to him. I was like, yeah, there's a reason this happened. There's a reason that happened. Blah 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 blah. Anyways, I probably shouldn't go any further because I'll probably spoil it. But it got ruined for him already. Like.
That sucks.
The day of,
and that's why I don't
you
want to be
know?
that person for people because it does. I mean, it was hard to get tickets, and some people don't like going to a crowded movie, which is me. But I do make exceptions, especially when I can pick my own seat.
Yeah.
But that does suck.
Anyways.
And I don't want to do that. But
And I will say, so this. You want to talk about the theater real quick?
yeah, so that
Before we go too long on this.
No, that's our quick Avengers. It was awesome. We had an issue with it being slow at the beginning and a character.
Yeah.
But overall,
Theater-wise.
awesome. Theater, man, the theater
Go,
we
you
went
first.
to was so it's a theater in a different town closer to Dallas, and they've renovated it since I've been there. And we went to this. They do now they do, which is common now, but they didn't have it before. You do reserved seating, and then their seats now are recliners with little swiveling tray tables. They recline, they heat, they put a bar in. So we got to pick we reserved our seats 3 weeks ago, whatever. Which
is how a movie theater should be.
yeah,
I mean,
you
and that's
pick- you
where
pick your
everybody's
seat.
moving.
We get
towards that
there, we get
direction.
our snacks, we get in, and immediately I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. I recline my seat back, my legs are kicked up, we got room to breathe. So, and the screen, they have the XD, and we went to a 3D, which 3D visuals on this movie, mind blowing.
Unbelievable.
Like, the visuals in the movie are so awesome and so epic.
This was a
It's
first
crazy.
for both Chuck and I.
Yes.
And we both walked out of there thinking like, dude, what did we just experience?
Yeah,
with that.
the experience at the theater was probably one of the
Unbelievable.
best I've ever had.
Unbelievable.
You had a problem.
I had one minor problem.
You had two problems.
Chuck. What was my?
I'll
second?
tell you what
Okay.
the second one
Okay.
was.
I remember what my second one is. So, as Chuck mentioned, the seats reclined, right? I sit down next to Chuck, and my seat does not recline. I'm sitting here pushing the buttons like I'm trying to be a lazy boy watching the movie. Nope, didn't happen. I had to sit upright the entire movie. And this might have contributed to the second part that you're about to bring up.
Before
'Cause I was sitting
before we get
upright.
to the second part,
Or the amount of beer
so
that I drink beforehand.
here's the couple. Yeah, man. A side note: don't drink tall boys before you go to
Yeah.
a 3-hour movie.
We had a couple of tall boys.
But so what's interesting is Cody bought 2 tickets and I bought 1,
I
so we
did.
had 3 seats.
I'm all
And
about,
Cody
you
wanted
know.
to sit next to me at the movie, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
We're friends.
I sat next
And
to I didn't want to sit next to some
so my
random
first
guy.
thing is, he didn't tell me this till after the movie that his seat didn't recline. So the whole time we're getting ready for the movie and it's coming on, and then I just lose interest in Cody. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I guess he doesn't want to kick his feet up. He just wants to chill in a recliner with his feet on the ground. Okay,
Never mentioned it.
you do your thing. Eat that hot dog and just sit your feet on the ground. And so then he told me that, and my first thought is, well, why didn't you move to the other seat that you bought?
You're right. And I'll tell you this. You want to know why?
Sure.
And I'm glad. Well, not that I knew this beforehand, but I'm glad I didn't sit next to this guy. The dude started crying multiple times. I'm not even kidding. And I never told you about that.
No, this is the first time
I never told you about that. The first part, I'm not kidding, Chuck. Legit. He was over there sniffling. And I tried to like listen to him. I was like, wait, time out. Is he freaking crying right now?
Oh my gosh.
The
I did
beginning
not
of the
know
movie,
this.
the beginning of the movie, you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
right? Okay? He was sniffling real hard, like this. And I was like, what
He
is going on there?
walked
Okay.
into that movie
but
all up
then
in his feels.
But then it stopped, right? And then towards the end of the movie, when it happened again, same character,
Yeah.
he was over here doing this. I was like, what is he's crying. He's over there crying. So I'm glad I didn't sit next to that guy because I wouldn't have been able to handle it.
Oh my
Recline
gosh.
chair or not, like I
Dude,
was
well,
happy
so,
with the fact that like, okay, I'll deal with no recline chair as long as I have to sit next to the crying guy over here.
If you're really bought into this movie, like you will.
I get it.
You can get up in your emotions.
I get it. I get
And
it for sure.
I felt it like a little, not crying level, but
I did.
When it's
It's
You
heavy.
know those emotional
heavy.
movies, it gets you.
It's heavy.
There are points where it gets you, and I was a little bit prepared because I mentioned it before. I get deep on YouTube, and one of my favorite YouTube followers, I'll shout him out. He's got tons of followers, very popular on YouTube. It's Tyrone Magnus, and he's into Marvel movies, reviews, previews. Anyway, he did a non-spoiler, and he said he cried like 4 times.
Oh, no way.
So I already knew that
Okay.
it would get you. But
Like I wasn't hating on the guy, but like
you didn't want to sit next to that.
I couldn't handle like sitting next to a guy like legit crying.
And part of
you know?
our movie experience was I enjoy. Normally, I'm very much against talking in the movies and against phones, which we didn't have a phone problem. But for this movie, it was awesome because even I got caught up into it. I'm verbally like, oh shit, like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, here we go, like moments. And then like the crowd, when something major happens, clapping and
Round of
cheering.
applause.
Or like when something crazy happens, like, like
Yeah.
you hear it. And
Everybody.
for a movie like this, it added to my experience. Like I enjoyed that,
For
but
sure.
I would not want
Those were all the true fans.
I did not want to sit next to a crier.
So
I don't blame you there.
that's why-
So that explains why your feet were on the ground and you didn't move.
You're right. I didn't move until
Yeah, until
Go ahead.
now.
Go ahead.
So I posted a thing. It was a pretty funny in-game poster someone made. It said, most people will go to the bathroom, but not us. And Cody failed. So he did step up and go to the bathroom. And watching that YouTuber,
I had to go,
he
man.
said, "Do not get up." And no, actually, it was on 105.3 The Fan here in Dallas. Another guy got to see it, and he said, "Don't get up." As soon as I tried to go up,
Yeah.
I was at the door, and something happened. I had to go back to my seat.
and you did say that beforehand.
Yeah,
Before
I
the
told
movie.
Cody. I told him.
We talked about it. So I did try to like strategically plan like my restroom break, which was only one throughout the
Yeah.
entire movie.
Only one.
Chuck didn't go at all.
No,
I don't
no
know
way
how
I
he
was
didn't
going.
go.
I wasn't.
Unbelievable.
Probably an hour into the movie, I needed to go, but there was no way I was getting
What?
up.
An hour into it, and you
Yeah.
waited 2 more hours.
Yes.
Holy crap.
That's why I pretty much ran to the bathroom
I
afterwards.
couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't.
But-
but I did strategically plan. Like,
How do you,
I tried to.
It's so funny
like.
that you say that because how do you strategically plan for a movie
because
you haven't seen?
I feel like I had a pretty good hold on like the feel and where the movie was going.
And you know what? I was pissed at you.
Do you remember when I left though?
Yeah, and
What happened? Anything important?
No, and that's why I was
Yes,
pissed
see?
because
I did it right.
I was like, this dude picked there was probably 1 or 2 minor things, but I was like watching like, okay, Cody's getting to go to the bathroom. Sucks for him.
My
He got
hands are-
up.
my hands
And
are
then-
up right
And
now.
then my natural thing is like, okay, I'm gonna see if this works out for him, or do I have to tell him something?
Totally worked
Do
out,
I have to
right?
break my rule and talk to him when he
Please
comes
tell me it
back?
worked out.
And it worked out.
Oh
like
my-
when you got back, I was like, dang it, he made it, and he
Yes.
didn't miss a thing.
Yes.
So
Dude, that's why I'm telling you. Like
I don't know when the minute mark is where you can go to the bathroom,
No,
but
I'm telling
he
you,
pulled
man.
it off.
I pulled it off.
So-
I was feeling it. I was like, this is the perfect time to go.
And
right
then, so that was our trip to the movies. The last thing, which I just throw in there, we don't really have to get into. It's just funny. We had to get gas after the movie.
Oh, shit.
And Cody spilled something
Oh,
out.
dude,
I'm
yeah.
sitting there listening to him, and I hear this noise outside.
What the F?
Dude poured gasoline all over himself.
The freaking pump, whatever the hell it is, had like a little rubber nozzle on it, and when I pushed the trigger, it popped out of the gas tank completely, and gas sprayed everywhere. So it smelled like gas on the drive.
Oh yeah,
home.
it smelled awful,
and I kept telling Chuck, "What a terrible ending."
and we got a natural high off gasoline on the way home because of Cody's pants.
that was terrible.
So.
Should have got gas beforehand.
Oh man, but yeah, Avengers. We're gonna do a full breakdown, probably review it in detail and reveal stuff in a future episode.
Go see it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to see it. Everyone's talking about
It's.
it.
Should we talk numbers real quick?
Yeah. Oh man,
There's a reason everybody should go see
Yeah.
this.
So
right?
real quick, because we have kind of gone extra long on this.
Yeah.
So it shattered. So the previous domestic U.S. record was $257.7, so $258 million, and on opening weekend, and Avengers got 350 opening weekend.
Holy
and in
crap.
total across the world, they've already got $1.2 billion in opening week, whatever. So shattering records left and right is what's going on with Avengers.
1.2 billion.
Yeah, 1.2
Unbelievable.
billion. Yeah.
So if you don't have any other reason to go see it, there's your reason right there.
Yep. And
And side note, Fortnite,
Yeah.
stepping it up, as always. Fortnite played into the Avengers, which they've already done in the past, which is why I love Fortnite, okay? And my son does. But I also love Fortnite because Fortnite, Epic Games, honestly, Epic Games in general, they know how to do it. They know how to run a business. They know how to run the gaming market as it is right now. They played into the Avengers Endgame movement, hype, whatever you want to call it, and implemented like an Avengers in-game feature within the gameplay of Fortnite.
And you showed me.
And I showed you some.
And I've said that I don't play Fortnite. I played it once, won't play it again.
Chuck
the video
was
you
down.
showed me, I was like,
Chuck
dude, this
was
is
down.
awesome.
It is awesome.
Because you got Thanos, and they're
Yes.
using Avenger skins, like Avenger outfits and weapons.
Yeah.
And it's a different game mode from what you showed me.
Yes.
Where I guess there's a Thanos running around collecting
all the stones,
and you're trying to stop him.
You're trying to stop him.
Okay.
yeah. With
Yeah.
the team, you are the Avengers,
That's awesome.
and I
might
just
have to dive back in.
hats
just for
off
that.
hats off to Fortnite again.
And side note,
constantly evolving.
another side note, there's a clever, funny Fortnite moment in Avengers movie.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool.
mentioned Fortnite.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, dude.
So look
and,
for that.
And not only Fortnite, but a ton of others. Like
Yeah, they were all over.
Plugs. There's a lot of plugs.
But also, which kind of caught me off guard in a good way, is that the movie is funny. Like, there are some funny moments in the movie. You get it all. The movie, you get funny, you get sad, you get hyped, you get it all. So
you might cry.
yeah. So Avengers,
Your seat might not
movie's
recline.
awesome.
You might have to go to the restroom, but
Don't go to the restroom.
it's worth it.
It's breaking records. Fortnite's getting in on it, and I might have to check out that game mode.
Hey guys, real quick, let me tell you about Beard Supply. Beard Supply produces all natural products for your beard. It's easy. It's simple. Beard oils, beard balms, mustache wax. Our number one selling product is our beard soap. It's all natural, makes the beard feel soft. The ladies love it. It smells good. You got to get on it. Grooming's important. Taking care of your beard is important. Go to beardsupply.com right now. Use the code MDC Podcast to receive, I'm not kidding, 50% off any beard care product. Use the code MDC Podcast, 50% off. Get the goods, you name it. We have it. It's going to make your beard feel awesome. Check it out now. That's beardsupply.com. MDC Podcast is the code for 50% off. Beard care for a wild life.
And then the other thing, so like we're covering news, and the news of this week is Avengers Endgame and Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. And tonight, we're now on social media blackout, is the Battle of Winterfell. The longest filming, when they filmed, I don't know if you know this, when they filmed the Battle of Winterfell, the filming process and everything was the largest battle ever filmed for movie or TV.
Cinematic, right?
Yep. And it took 55 days to film this episode.
Oh my God.
The previous record was the Battle of the Bastards from season, was it 6? 5 or 6?
Yeah.
And that was only 22 days or 21 days.
Yeah.
So this one is double the time, and it's a long episode. And
I love it.
So let's go ahead.
Once again, Chuck and I are here recording, literally missing out on the legit exact premiere. Like we're gonna go home after this and watch it.
Absolutely, we make sacrifices.
Yeah, but dude, I'm like crawling, and we already texted about this earlier today. Like we both text each other like, "What time do you want to start today? Like you want to start earlier so we can go watch, the Battle of Winterfell. It's going to be the hugest battle ever in history, cinematic wise." And we're both sitting here at the table podcasting, just like itching to get out of here to go watch.
Yeah, well, because we were talking about this, and so this is with Endgame and Game of Thrones. I don't ever recall feeling
like this,
stressed. Yeah. Honestly, stressed,
anxiety,
fear. Sadness, like you don't know these characters you've bought into for years.
Yeah.
You
8
honestly
years,
had
right?
no idea how this story is going to play out. You have all these theories, what you think's happened, what you want to happen, and you don't know where it's going to go. And tonight, so this season is 6 episodes long. This is episode 3. and this is where what everyone's anticipating, most people are going to die off.
You know what's funny?
Don't do it.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. All right. We're literally talking about this, and I just looked at my phone.
Oh my gosh.
My wife says, "Oh my God, the suspense is killing me. I need to watch." And I said, "No, stop."
Oh.
Because I keep telling her,
So
"Do
she
not
hasn't
watch
watched.
without me."
Okay.
She said the suspense is killing her.
Oh man. Okay, so we're ready for Battle of Winterfell.
Let's wrap this up. I gotta go.
No. So Cole, we're gonna get into this episode and more with Cole next week.
Yeah,
But
it's
let's
gonna be
go
a fun
ahead. Let's
episode.
go ahead and we're doing it. What theories, what ideas, what episode 1 and 2 of this episode of this season? What do you think? How do you want to get this rolling? What do you want to throw out there? Like thoughts on. Let's start with thoughts on episodes 1 and 2.
Okay. I thoroughly enjoyed both episodes, to be honest with you. I watched episode 2 again this morning.
Okay.
We've already talked about this a little bit. I was initially disappointed with episode 2, as I think everybody was. But now that I watched it a second time today, but there's a reason they did that. Are we doing spoilers?
Yeah. We're full
sorry,
reveal on
like,
episode 1 and 2
okay.
right now.
So what they did in episode 2 was just basically like establish everybody's relationships with one another, right? In a nutshell, it established. I mean, every character in the entire series, it kind of walks through each individual's like relationship with one another, right? Collectively.
This was everyone coming back together.
Coming back together. It makes you feel good. It makes you smile. It makes you feel happy.
They're tying all the characters, putting a nice bow on it before it all gets set on fire.
Yeah, exactly. It makes you feel good, and then they're gonna rip your heart out.
So
I'm sure
I liked episode 1. I haven't rewatched, but I liked episode 1. I thought that was cool. And episode 2, I was disappointed.
Yeah. Well, you find out that Jon Snow is
at the end of episode 1. You find out that he's
that's a
Aegon
huge spoiler.
Targaryen. Yep. It's happening.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're doing it full reveal.
It's kind of obvious.
And then it's been hinted at.
He rode the freaking dragon.
Yeah. So on that scene in particular, I'm glad he brought that up.
Yeah.
You knew at some point he was probably going to get on a dragon.
Yeah.
I was expecting like a more magical, epic moment, and it was just like him and Danny going on a date. Hey, hop on this dragon. Let's go
no big deal.
Let's go check out a waterfall.
He even questioned. He was like, "Are you sure he's not going to like buck me off or throw me off?" He was like,
I thought it would be like some, when Harry Potter gets his wand and it's like, oh. Like, I was expecting something like that, but no, he's just like, okay, here we go. And at that point, he hadn't been told.
Yeah.
And it's like, hello, you just rode a dragon with no problem.
Yeah.
Red flag.
Yeah.
And Danny just completely, it's just because
she's just like,
she's probably thinking,
it's Jon Snow. He's a badass.
I'm the mother of dragons. He got to ride it because I let him.
Or Jon Snow.
And then you got that creepy dragon stare when they were kissing.
Yeah, man. He was just like.
So the theory I saw on that is that the dragons are named after. One's named after Drago.
Yep.
Danny's wife.
Yep.
Or husband.
Yeah.
And one's named after her brother. And the one he hops onto is named after a father or grandfather.
Targaryen.
Yeah. Or maybe I don't know. It has a tie to Jon Snow, so it's the theory is that maybe some kind of embodiment of those people are in the dragon. So the dude's like, "Hey, I know she's your aunt. Quit kissing her."
Well,
kind of thing.
Was that the same dragon staring at him
I think it was
in that scene?
It may have been Drago, and Drago's like, or Drogon or whatever the dragon.
Yeah.
But if Khal Drago was in there, he's like, "Hey, don't make me breathe fire on your ass right
tripping,
now,
bro. Like,
that's my wife, dude.
Why are you kissing her?
I haven't let go yet." But anyway, it was funny. You got this long dragon stare, like, I know what's up. Knock it off.
It was creepy. Like, it was intense. I felt it.
And then the most meme worthy of the episode 1, which is awesome, is when Braun's just creepily everywhere,
dude,
and watching everybody, and then he says he's waiting for a friend, and when Jaime Lannister roads up and hops off, and like he is like shits at the fan, and then one of the funniest videos, it's he hops off and it goes na 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 na. It's the motherfucker.
This is on Twitter. This is on Twitter, right?
Yeah. And then it has the shades drop on Braun. But so many.
It's a famous meme.
And
you have to go see.
Yeah,
it.
and then
you got to be a huge Game of Thrones nerd.
The build up to episode 2 was if Jon tells Daenerys that they're related and how that plays out. And
which happens in episode 2, right?
Yeah, it does happen. It happens at the end of episode 2. And
spoiler alert again.
We're doing it. The odd part about that is she was more pissed about him being the heir to the throne instead of her, instead of the fact that she's been banging her nephew. Like, that's how... And that feeds into the theory that she might turn into the Mad Queen, which her dad was the Mad King and got killed by Jaime Lannister, the Kingslayer.
Whoa.
So that ties into that she's going to get to the point where she's so overwhelmed with taking over the throne that she starts going across the line, and that someone may... Which my thought is maybe if Jaime doesn't kill Cersei, Jaime might be the one to kill Dany, because he'll go from Kingslayer full circle to Queenslayer, which is the king's daughter.
Dude, so many theories. We could sit here and theorize all night.
And there's only... Dude. And then also in episode 2, it's more like it's almost like a goodbye. It's like, here's these characters we love. They get together.
Arya.
A lot of the sub characters.
The freaking Arya.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Scene, man.
A lot of the sub characters we like all get together and drink beer around the fire and trade stories.
Man.
It was awesome.
Time out.
Yeah.
Within that episode or that scene, my absolute favorite part of that scene or that episode in general was when Brienne of Tarth got knighted as a... Is that what you call it?
Yeah, because the rule is women can't be knights. Yeah. But
a knight can knight you.
But the other rule is a knight has the power to knight anyone they want. Right. It's just no one does it to women.
Yeah. Dude, that
and
felt good.
My boy Jaime comes full circle to fan favorite good guy. He says, "I'm a knight. I'll do it." And there's this awesome scene.
And I love that relationship between those two because they care about each other.
They have a lot of backstory.
They do. And they're both honorable. Like she said when she stood up for him.
Because at the beginning of that episode, when Dany said she would immediately kill the person who ever killed her father, which is Jaime. Yeah. And then Jaime burned pretty much all the Starks on killing Ned, killing everyone else, and just fighting Robb and all that stuff. Yeah. And what saves him is
Brienne.
Sansa has a relationship with Brienne of Tarth. Yeah. And Brienne stands up during like the court or whatever, is like, I'll vouch for him. And because she vouched for Jaime, they spared Jaime, let him fight. Yeah. And then later when they're drinking beers, he's like, I'll knight you.
Hell yeah.
And
beers or wine? Huh? Was it wine or beers?
I don't know. I just assumed they're drinking. Well, I don't know.
Hey,
if you're freaking Tommen or whatever, you're drinking Giant's breast milk. So, I don't know what the hell they're drinking.
He chugged that shit.
Dude, that was funny. That was good.
I loved it.
His whole story about why he's so big and strong.
That was my favorite part was all of them sitting around the fire, getting ready to go to battle, right? Drinking wine, beer, whatever they're doing. Giant's breast milk. Dude, my absolute favorite scene because they all sit down around the fire and drink. I mean, what else can you know what? Okay. This is where like alcohol brings everybody together. You know what I'm saying? No, like I want to talk about that.
Okay.
Like alcohol at some point, and not necessarily alcohol, but beer, whatever. It loosens people up.
Yeah, this is not getting completely blackout drunk hammered. Yeah, no, just getting loose.
You get loose. You sit down and conservatively sit around like a campfire, which is my most favorite thing to do.
And I like it because
you have a few beers and you drink and have a good time with friends and you talk
and you start getting the stories or saying comments, deeper conversations and stuff you may not normally say.
It kind of loosens you up, but you're not getting wasted, you know. And that's what I love and at the very beginning of the episode, Brienne walks in with what's his name?
Pod the Rod?
Yeah, Pod the Rod.
There's a reason he's Pod the Rod.
And she's like, no, you're not having anything. Maybe half a cup, all right? And then Tyrion.
Was he there?
Tyrion was there. Oh, of course Tyrion was there.
No, well, maybe he was. Because I know, which was one of my favorite interesting parts I wish they would have went more into, is he sat down and talked to Bran
after they all left,
and he was like, "I have time."
Yes,
and he wanted to hear all about.
It's not like
Bran's
we're in
backstory.
the middle of a winter, trapped inside. But yeah. So my one of my favorite parts is when Tyrion. She was like, Bran said, "Yeah, maybe half a cup," and Tyrion poured him overflowed the cup of wine or beer, whatever it was, and handed it to him. And then he talked Brienne into having like a little bit of alcohol as well, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So, I mean, just that's why Chuck and I sit here and have a couple of beers or whiskey when we feature, one of those during the podcast. It helps us sit down. Not helps us. It's a good time to sit here and kind of loosen up, and we get to have a good conversation.
Yeah. No, it definitely
Deeper
it definitely
conversations,
helps for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's what everybody enjoys about.
So here's
having
what
a beer or
I
whiskey.
didn't like about that episode,
Wine.
and now I'm a little more looser on it because I read kind of a little bit of the backstory. Is that you only have 6 episodes this season, and we pretty much burned one on them
Number
drinking
2. I know.
and
Yeah.
stuff.
Well,
but I also
I
this is
loved
what
it.
this is what made me feel better about it is because originally there was only supposed to be 7 seasons, so season 7 and this season were supposed to be 1.
Okay.
So if you put them both together,
Yeah.
it's better because you're not wasting an episode.
Right.
But because of filming and what they needed to do, they separated it.
Yeah.
So seeing it as season 7 and 8 as a whole, I feel better. But just on, we have 6 episodes and we burned one on pretty much everyone high-fiving and hugging and telling stories.
Okay, time out.
I'm like,
Could you imagine not having that episode now, though? Could you imagine going directly into the Battle of Winterfell without having something like that?
well,
You know what I'm saying?
depends on what happens.
I know, but
So if
there's a lot of characters.
yeah, and if a lot of
Could
them
you
die off, then you
imagine-
probably needed a lot of closure.
Yes,
for a
closure,
lot of 'em.
whatever it is.
So,
could you
yeah.
imagine after watching it now not having that episode?
I will need to see the rest of the season.
and then you'll probably appreciate episode
maybe
2.
maybe
Yeah.
But I
I
wasn't.
think that's where that was. The
I wasn't a
intent.
big fan of episode 2, and I wasn't because I wasn't a big fan of the reaction that Danny had.
Yeah,
And-
I wasn't either.
and-
Nope, I don't think anybody was.
And then the shocker,
And
which,
then Arya.
yeah, Arya's like, "Hey, this is my last night."
The most Googled question this week was
How old is
Arya?
Maisie? Yeah, how old is the
Maisie.
actress that plays Arya? Because so when she started the show, I think she was like 13 or something,
Yeah.
12 or 13, and so we kind of
Get a
watched
little
her grow up.
side boobage action. in
And,
this
oh yeah,
episode.
and she gets all
It gets weird,
down and does it, and
But-
everyone's like, "Whoa, we can't watch this. She's like our little
I know,
sister."
yeah, exactly. That's how everybody felt.
Yeah, but
But
no.
at the same time, you can understand that like you're about to
Because her-
potentially die.
So the guy she does it with, they've had a long backstory,
Yeah.
and they kind of had this
Yeah.
this connection, and they all think they're pretty much probably going to their death
Right.
at the battle.
Exactly.
So she's like, "I'm not dying without knowing what it's
100%
like."
completely
So-
understand that.
And she's of age. It's good.
Right,
So, but yeah, so she does her thing. It lit Twitter. That's
It
the
shocked
moment.
everybody.
That's the moment that lit Twitter and everything on fire.
like you said, and what's funny is you could go into like Twitter and Instagram and see all the reaction videos to some of this. Everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, no, not Arya!" Like Chuck said, she's like your little sister, and you're pulling for her, but at the same time, if you know or if you feel like you're about to die, like legit about to die, like on this earth.
Well, I didn't know. It's
Why
one of
would
those
you
things,
not
like,
go all out and just like experience whatever you can?
Not the age thing, but just like the relationship you feel like you have with these characters. I'm sitting there like, is this something I should be watching, or should I kind of turn away for a
sure,
second
for sure.
and like peek to see when it's over?
I think it was a really good play by Game of Thrones because I mean everybody gets older. Everybody goes through that exact moment,
No,
that
it
exact
just capitalizes
stage
what's so
of
great.
life.
What's
Right?
so great about this series is that a lot of these characters you do see them like her when she was young in this,
yeah.
and then now 8 years later, and
It
this
happens
is
quick.
great storytelling and
It
great
is.
character builds
yeah.
in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That like it's not just a random character; it's like you invested in
It's
some
real
of these
life.
people. So it's like
real life.
So when you see that, yeah, it does make sense. It was just caught everyone off guard.
It did.
Also,
For
her
sure.
character is just like this badass warrior. Like she's
Right.
grown into this
And it kind of
assassin. Like all she has is she's a death list, and she's a master of
and
it.
it makes her feel real.
Then all of a sudden, she kind of becomes human for a second,
Exactly.
and wants to experience love in real life and all that
Yeah.
before she has to go on this battle and this mission of all time, and
sure.
might not make it out. So
Exactly.
I got that part. I was cool with it. But so that's episode 1 and 2. And to wrap up, what theories, what ideas do you have for the rest of this season?
Man.
Like, what do you think's going to happen tonight?
Okay.
because I have a theory. We've talked about it, and I'm going to throw it out there to you.
You go ahead because my mind is still
because you've heard this from other people too.
I have.
Now,
we've kind of
but it's my theory, which we're either going to look like we're on the nose, we're close, or we're full of shit when this actually airs because it'll be after. I don't. So there's two theories that I've bought into. Like I've heard a lot of them, and I'm buying into one, and one of them is that the Night King is not going to be at the Battle of Winterfell. And the idea is that he is either A, hiding off, like not falling for the plan, or B, he's going straight to King's Landing to take that on while his army weakens pretty much everyone's in Winterfell to fight. He's going to weaken them and go strike King's Landing while no one's there but Cersei.
Right.
And Cersei's just sitting there thinking, well, I'll just handle this when it's all over.
Yeah.
So...
Idiot.
And it could be also, this is another theory I heard right before I came up here, is he's going to take over King's Landing. So then he'll have what's left of his dead army in the north. He'll have the south dead army coming up, and anyone surviving
rolling up on his dragon,
left there.
Yeah.
Like so it's like
a lot of people are starting to pick up on that.
They're gearing up for this one battle, and there's a possibility they might have to do it again. For anyone that survives, they might have to do it again.
For sure.
So that's one theory I'm buying into.
A lot of theory that everybody I think is picking up on this week, because I've heard that in multiple places. But overall, like, there's no. You're right. The Night King isn't at the very end of episode 2. It doesn't show the Night King at all. It just shows his army. Showing up. He's never shown. That theory is out there that he'll go straight to King's Landing, take out Cersei, and then that leaves this is I think what we talked about. This is the story of Jon Snow. Ultimately, this is the story of Jon Snow, and he'll go through the battle of Winterfell, and then he'll realize, hey, the Night King's not even freaking here.
Yeah,
we got to go to King's Landing and take the throne.
Yep,
which he is heir to, right?
Yeah, and that's where this is the other theory I'm buying into is that we talked about it actually just a little bit ago. Is Daenerys is going to end up being the bad guy? Like they may defeat the Night King,
that I'm struggling
but she's going to turn into the Mad Queen.
Yeah.
But here's where
and she has the dragon
stuff you like or want to happen or think will happen.
Snap. Is a dragon going to favor Jon Snow?
That's
one of the dragons.
Holy
crap!
That's what. But it's also
right now.
they may very well lose a dragon.
That's true.
Or two before then.
We probably shouldn't get ahead of ourselves here.
But I think. But see, here's the problem with theories and thoughts is that a lot of them contradict themselves. Like I think.
Good point.
Because Daenerys is going to be the Mad Queen, I think I honestly think Jaime might be the one to take her down.
Yeah.
But
everybody names him the
even
Kingslayer.
more so, I am almost positive. Like I think Jaime is going to be the one that kills Cersei.
Wow.
And he's not going to be the one that gets to kill Cersei and Daenerys.
No.
So
of course not.
It's going to be interesting, but I do. So my big theories that I buy into right now is that Jaime's going to kill Cersei, and the Night King's not at Winterfell. Everything else in between that is wide open. Like I have no clue what's going to happen.
Which goes back to an interview with Peter Dinklage, which is Tyrion Lannister. He mentions, which I think I mentioned this in the last episode, Game of Thrones ends beautifully. Is what he says.
Yeah, and I also heard...
What is your definition of beautifully?
Exactly. And since then, I've heard some people like it, some people won't.
Right.
So,
yeah.
And so real quick, we're going to move on from Game of Thrones. I brought this up when we were talking earlier because I am in the middle of a rewatch from the first few seasons.
Yeah.
And I listened to a podcast. I want to give this podcast a shout out to. And again, they have a pretty big following. It's if you... Like right now, I'm all in on Game of Thrones. And they do lots of recaps and dive them into the books and the backstory. It's called Game of Thrones, the podcast. Go check it out if you're a Game of Thrones fan, especially if you're recapping or want to get caught up on reactions.
Especially this season, man.
They're really knowledgeable on the books, the history, like anything and everything to do with Game of Thrones are on it.
And they don't know what's going to happen.
No,
right?
They do not know. They do
not know.
They're
theorizing.
But they know all about the books. They know all about the history, the show, as story-wise.
Right.
And so they talk about a lot of theories and stuff, and they brought this up and I watched it today too, so it kind of went together. It just so happened to be, is that the vision. So Bran has a vision, and Danny has a vision earlier in the series, and Bran's vision is. It shows the Iron Throne and a shadow of a dragon flying over it. And the thing is, it doesn't show which dragon that is. So it could be the Night King's dragon.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be.
I remember that.
Jon's dragon now, which I'm going ahead and call it Jon's dragon because they got a connection. And Danny's dragon. So it doesn't show which dragon. But Danny's vision is similar in that it shows the Iron Throne, but it's covered in what could be considered ash.
Yeah. Or snow.
Yeah. And this could symbolize either one, the Night King takes the throne, snow, or quite literally, she gets so close to the throne, but she doesn't succeed because it's covered by snow, meaning Jon Snow is the heir to the throne.
Yeah.
She doesn't get it because Jon does. Now, the tie-in, the final I want to see is that, which Sam hinted at, when he said, Danny did it, but would you? So is Jon the guy that's going to make sacrifices?
Yeah.
Or what's Danny? Like, what are they willing to do
That's
to
true.
take or
Sam
not
won't.
take the throne?
Yeah.
I think this is why I think she'll be the bad guy. I think Danny will do anything. And I think Jon will give up
I think you're right.
the throne to do what's right.
Because that's who Jon Snow
And
is.
I mentioned this when we went to the movies. I just watched season 1, and one of the episodes, he's talking to the Maester at the Night Watch when he's at the Night's Watch at Castle Black.
First season, right?
And they're talking about first season. He's talking when Ned Stark dies. Jon Snow and the Maester are talking, and he's like, "My father, Ned Stark, was honorable." And he's like, "Well, would Ned Stark do this?" And he said, "Yes, absolutely." And he's like, "Well, he's 1 in 10,000 men."
Oh.
And it's like it's kind of hinting at.
Jon
Snow follows in Ned Stark's footsteps, which is not his true father, come to find out now.
Right.
But at the time, it is.
Yeah.
So he learned from probably the most honorable man in Westeros. And so I think it's going to come down to is what Danny or Jon is willing or not willing to give up to get the throne. I think Danny will do everything. I think Jon Snow won't. So I think that's why
honorable.
I think that's why she's going to end up the bad guy.
Same with Jaime. I mean...
Well, and I think
with your theory on him killing
I think Jaime's coming full around. Well, and also this is where the book. So I only know this from listening to podcasts and reading about it.
Yeah.
The prophecy that Cersei had.
Yeah.
They don't mention it in the show, but in the book they left out the back half of the prophecy.
Of course.
Because the first part was about her having children of golden hair.
Okay.
All 3 would die. Right.
Yeah.
The back part is that they would that she would meet her demise at the hands of, and they use the Alistar, the Valstar. I don't know. They use a word, but basically it means little brother.
Okay.
So the theory on that is it her little brother, which they're twins, but Jaime was the younger of the twins.
Yep.
Could it mean Tyrion? So could it be her little brother or a little brother? Could it be Bran?
Tyrion.
Could it be Tyrion? Could it be Jaime? So
which we talked about. Tyrion was projected to be like,
and he made a little comment that perked some ears when they're looking over the wall, and he said, "You know what? Maybe I'll die and become one of these dead walkers, and I'll just go down there and choke her myself." So the prophecy book wise is it referring to the little brother, like Cersei's, as in Jaime or Tyrion, or a little brother, which could be any little brother in the series. So it could be Bran, it could be
leaves it wide open.
Yeah, leaves it open. So that's the little part that I've listened and read about that they didn't show in the show, but is in the books.
Yeah.
Now will they adhere to that? I don't know, but I think Jaime's story is not done, and he's going to go full circle in killing Dany or Cersei.
Nice.
So
because he's Kingslayer.
He's Kingslayer,
Queenslayer,
and now he's got come back full. He's more a man of honor than he was a jerk and full in on the Lannister family the first few seasons.
Yeah,
and now he's not. He's walked away from when he found out Cersei was lying and not going to fight for Westeros. He took his people and he went to Winterfell.
Something just because we're talking about, and we should probably wrap this up. But last thing,
okay,
the very beginning of episode 2, when Dany is very hesitant to allow Jamie to fight on their side, right?
Mm.
And everybody vouches for him. There's a moment where they're like, both of them are like, obviously, like Danny is extremely hesitant.
Yeah.
And so is Jamie. Like, well, Jamie's not hesitant, but like he's trying to work his way in.
Well, he also knew,
And he's just trying to fight.
This is like Jamie's story too.
Yeah.
He knew what he was walking into when he went back to Winterfell.
Right.
He knew there was a good chance they would chop his head off as soon as he walked through the gates.
But how crazy would it be? Danny granted the fact that Jamie was allowed back in, and then he comes around and he's the one that ends up killing Danny after she gave him
See,
access.
that's why these theories and
You know what I'm
thoughts they
saying?
contradict each other. Like it's crazy. We are so amped to go watch the battle
Yeah.
and finish.
Let's
the
end it
season.
here.
So
We gotta get out of here.
Okay, we're
We
rolling
gotta
out of
watch
Game of
this shit.
Thrones. So next we got weird news.
Get ready.
2 stories.
Cole Reiser's coming next
and,
weekend.
Yeah, and there will be more
It's gonna
Game
be
of Thrones
fun.
talk.
It might be a Game of
And-
Thrones episode.
If you can find, I don't know if Cole did it on his Instagram or not, but he did it on
his
maybe his
wife's.
wife's Facebook or
Facebook,
something.
yeah.
Don't go track down his wife or nothing. But this is the type of guy Cole is. His wife came home from work and he was sitting in a chair with a blanket over him, just doing a dead stare, and no one knows how long he was sitting there. And she just walked in on him. Basically being Bran Stark, just sitting there, leaned back with a blanket over, just staring at the door when she walked in. I guess he was waiting for an old friend.
We're gonna find out next week. We're gonna find out next
We're
week.
gonna ask him about
We're
that.
gonna ask him about that.
But
Freaking
yeah.
hilarious.
So we're gonna dive into weird news. 2 stories, not too weird, just it wouldn't follow under normal. We just
And to let everybody know, these are always a surprise to me. I have no idea the weird news that Chuck's bringing in.
We briefly talked about the first one.
Okay, yeah, we did.
You do know that one. The second one you don't know. So
I have no idea.
we weren't recording when the fire took over the Notre Dame Cathedral in France. And so basically the top portion of the cathedral burnt up, fire. They're gonna, I mean, it is like 1,000 years old. I think it was completed in like the 1300s.
This is a great story.
It is old. But to help restore, they're going to try to restore it in its original condition. So video games and technology. The assassin. So there's a series of games that I am deep into. Like love the Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
And it's basically they pick a time in history.
Mm-hmm.
You're an assassin. You interact with characters or people from that history. They try to be as accurate as possible with the city.
There were some
the
World War
monuments
versions, right?
They did. So the first one was like the Middle East a long time ago.
World War.
They
versions.
did the Revolutionary War. They did one where it was you meet George Washington and all that.
Yeah.
The most recent ones they did. Oh, they did a Pirates one. So they did. It was almost like Pirates of the Caribbean right before the Revolution. That was probably the best one. They just did an Origins one, which is like ancient Egypt. So you get to climb pyramids, explore tombs, and all
Nice.
that. The newest one that just came out is like Sparta. It's
Okay.
Greek mythology. So you do
Okay.
all that. They did one called Assassin's Creed Unity, and it was during the French Revolution. It's based in France, and one designer, their main thing was to design the Notre Dame Cathedral for the game.
Nice.
And this person actually spent 2 years working on their rendering of the cathedral for the game. Wow! And 2 years to model it, and they try to be, obviously you got to make climbing. You got to adapt it to where you can use it in the game, because in the game you can go in. There's probably missions there.
Right.
You can climb to the top of it. You can do all kinds of stuff. So they have to adjust a little bit for the game, but for the most part, they try to be as accurate as possible.
Yeah.
And the thought is they're going to use these 3D renderings, these pictures, these digital
That were used in the game.
models in the game of
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed to help
Rebuild.
in its original condition.
That's unbelievable, dude.
So, yeah.
And can you imagine real quick after you talked about that?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine like whoever like manages is responsible for like the security over the cathedral and being real hesitant and like, okay, no, we're not gonna let like Assassin's Creed game crew come in here and like document every nook and cranny corner of this cathedral for your game, right?
Mm.
But now it's like this sucker caught on fire, and now they're probably thinking, man, I wish we would have let them come in here and discover and explore every nook and cranny of this cathedral because now they're going to use the renderings to help rebuild this thing.
Well, it's like a perfect,
Isn't that crazy?
It's like a perfect situation because that video game was known, like the way they designed the
For the
game and
features.
the review, the reaction of the game was they wanted the city and the monuments of Paris,
Yeah.
of France, to be the focus of the game, not just characters. So
down to like even the street signs and the street names,
the
right?
street,
I've
streets,
seen that.
the buildings,
The crosswalks,
everything.
every little detail,
So
which is
that-
kind of creepy.
It's
but
just it's funny because the old school, the basic talk about video games is blah blah, that's useless. Oh, you're just wasting
like
time. Blah
perfect
blah.
example would be what's the freaking game that we used to play all the time?
GoldenEye,
No,
Mario
you
Kart,
run around the streets with homeboy.
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto. I can't believe it's just
Still
thought about
great.
that. Yeah, it's still great.
Yeah.
But something like that. I mean, like you want every detail to feel like downtown New York City or Manhattan.
Right.
And
And that's what it's so funny because we've gotten so far in gaming and technology that they can't fully rebuild it with the gaming models, but the models are detailed enough that they can use them to
down
help.
to the freaking street sign and the
So
crosswalk.
that's crazy.
That's
Like,
insane.
Hey, that just shows you
And that's awesome though. But now they're going
So-
to use that to rebuild the cathedral.
they're using it to help.
That's an amazing story in
That's-
my opinion.
so-
that is awesome.
So, talking about old stuff and amazing stories. Here's my other story. Weird news.
This is the one I don't know about.
So in 2016, researchers were doing experiments and whatnot around the northern Atlantic Ocean. And
Okay.
when I get there, tell me if you heard this or not.
Okay.
And they basically discovered what they thought could be an ancient creature.
Okay.
And I'm
Is it
talking,
a Nephilim?
huh? What?
Do you know what a Nephilim is?
No, what is that?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay. So basically what it was is they studied 28 Greenland sharks.
Okay.
So it's a shark.
Okay.
But they thought it might be an old shark.
It's a mammal.
And used to
Sharks are mammals, right?
No, they
shit.
don't breathe air. Mammals breathe air. Dolphins and whales are mammals.
Dang it.
Sharks are not. They're
Sorry,
fish.
screwed
They
that up.
can't breathe air.
My bad.
So
Idiot.
Anyway,
Freaking idiot.
so they studied 28 of these Greenland sharks, and the old school way of essentially aging a shark was size. So that was the old way, and it was very, very inaccurate.
Not by the amount of teeth that they had.
No,
Okay.
no. So what they came up with is they use
I'm having fun with this show.
right. Yeah, I know. So the shark, this particular shark, was the oldest of the 28.
Wow.
It was only 16 and a half feet long. But they used a new technique to age sharks.
Okay.
And they used radiocarbon technology, and basically they discovered
penis size.
no, not penis size, and these were all females.
All right, I'm having too much fun.
But no, so the eyelids of a shark
Yeah.
has rings, and they can use radiocarbon to date it like a tree. You know how the tree rings?
No way.
So get this.
That's
The
awesome.
average age of these 28 sharks based on this new dating.
Holy, on the ring.
On,
like around
yeah,
their,
it's like a tree ring, but it's like their islands.
Is that legit?
Their islands grows like a tree ring, so you can age a shark. These sharks.
That's legit.
yeah. This was
From what you're reading.
They studied these in 2016. It just came. Their findings just came out like
That is
last month.
insane.
So 3 years
So
later.
how old is this shark is what you're asking me.
Average age of the 28, and we'll talk about one in particular.
Holy crap. Okay. I'm going to go at least 20 to 30 years.
You would be about 240 years off.
What?
The average age of these
No.
28 sharks was 272 years old. Now,
No
this
way.
one shark, this 16 and a half foot shark,
Wait, this isn't okay, time out.
this is real. These
Pause.
there's
break.
pictures
This was found where?
in the northern Atlantic Ocean. This is called the Greenland shark, so
Yeah.
by Greenland, I would assume. And
They found the bone structure.
no,
They
these
found an actual
sharks
shark.
are swimming and living. They took measured islands,
My
took
mind
cartilage,
just exploded.
all that
this
stuff.
shark is still alive.
No, for real. Honestly, I'm not shitting
this shark
you.
is still alive.
You can go see pictures and video
This
of this
shark is
shark,
still alive.
and I'll repost it so you can find it. Yes, these sharks, not just one. These sharks.
This is not weird news. This is mind blowing news.
The average age of these 28 females they studied over the last 3 years is 272 years old.
Okay.
This one shark,
My mind just
the
exploded.
oldest of the bunch, they're 90. I think it was 80 or 90% accurate. And it's a large range, but
What?
at least minimum 272 years old. This one shark
Holy
could
crap.
be up to 512 years old.
Shut up. No way.
So the birth,
Get outta
the
here.
birth of this
Pollution would have killed that
the
motherfucker.
birth of this shark could be from 1501 to 1744.
I'm not in. I'm not in on this.
Go look at it.
I'm not in on this.
And this shark is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Like, it looks old. But
my gosh.
so yeah, that's
I don't. That's mind blowing.
and-
I don't know if I can jump on board.
so no. Here. We talked about my conspiracy
are
brain.
you like in on this? Are you
Absolutely.
dead set?
Absolutely.
You think this shark is 500 years old?
Yeah, yeah. I'm buying. I'm buying.
No way.
And here's
way.
so my conspiracy brain we hinted on.
Holy
This is
crap.
why. So
No
you,
way.
You love SpaceX and you love
that.
space
Chuck,
travel.
think about that. 500 years.
Yeah.
How did the heart keep beating that long?
This okay. Listen,
No.
you're all about SpaceX and space travel.
I am for sure.
Mind blowing fact.
Okay.
We know more about space than we do about our own oceans.
Okay. Legit. I'll give you that.
We're spending more money to go explore space
I'll
than
give you that.
exploring our own planet.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
And now
there could be an underwater world.
So I know this is not reading off news notes. This is just me being a nerd. Watch Discovery Channel and History Channel and whatnot. These sharks have been around for forever. It's not like we discovered this new shark.
Yeah.
It's just no one's ever been able to study and age them. They knew that they were older sharks and older creatures, but no one's ever been accurately able to age them because they're rare. You don't just see them swimming around. There's not a lot of them, and so they're hard to track down.
This is really big news,
So,
Chuck. You
Yeah,
are
go sleep on that.
blowing- I am not going to
Go
be able to
sleep on that.
And I'm supposed to go watch Game of Thrones after this.
Yeah. So anyway, that's your weird news. You got video
that
games
is amazing news.
going to help replicate the Notre Dame Cathedral and a 500-year-old shark. Boom.
Unbelievable.
Let's roll into sports real quick. This will take about 15
Quick.
seconds.
15 seconds.
Yep.
Go.
NFL draft happened.
Cool.
Wasn't a big
Didn't see it.
wasn't a big
All right,
draft.
moving on.
You didn't miss much. Kyler Murray was number 1 pick. He went to Arizona.
Hey, he's from Allen, Texas. So
He's from Allen,
Shout out,
local
shout out to
kid.
Kyler, man.
So
That's huge.
Kyler Murray went to Arizona Cardinals. Actually, they picked a quarterback with the number 10 pick last year.
Number
Josh
one pick, right?
Kyler. So last year,
QB.
Arizona picked a quarterback, Josh Rosen, at number 10.
Okay.
They were terrible. Not Josh Rosen, but
Yeah.
the Cardinals.
Right.
They got the number 1 pick this year.
Yeah.
They used it on Kyler Murray. And then in turn, the second day of the draft, they traded Josh Rosen to the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
So he'll get the restart in Miami.
We'll
Kyler
talk
Murray's
about
going to Arizona.
Kyler later on.
Boom. That's
I have
all
a
the
lot of que-
sports.
I have a lot of
We've already
questions.
went way in on other stuff, but there wasn't really big much. This draft, I'm usually jacked for the draft. This one wasn't that exciting. So that's it. That's the sports recap. That's the episode. Boom.
Hats off to Chuck on the weird news.
Yeah.
Blowing my mind.
All right. We're getting ready to go
Cheers.
watch the Battle of Winterfell.
Ranger
Real-
Ranger
Queek?
Ranger Queek.
Oh, here we go.
Ranger.
Oh my gosh. Here, I'll help you out.
Chuck's editing all this.
Ranger Creek, Texas Bourbon Barrel Series, limited edition Imperial Red.
Sending us off.
Yep. And so, again, listen to the first episode. Get in all those giveaways. We'll start posting, commenting, like, review, do all that fun stuff. As always, take a screenshot. Let us know you're listening. We're sending out stickers, coasters, whatever we got on hand.
Magnets.
Just saying thank you. Appreciate it. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Modern Dude Chat. You can find me at Modern Chuck.
You can find me at Cody Murph, CODYMURF.
That's going to do it for this week. We'll catch you next time.
Peace.